Rita Goodroe. Welcome to my living room.
Thank you. I'm excited. Everybody's in their living rooms lately.
Yes. Living room. Although you have the fancy podcast microphone, I'm not that fancy right now. So where are you broadcasting from?
So right now I'm actually in an Airbnb in Occoquan, Virginia. I came here because I had a lot of podcast kind of interviews to do, and my husband's working from home, my dog is from home, like everybody's at home. So I got an Airbnb just for a night and the day to come be able to do this. But I'm about to go to my home, which is in Northern Virginia, about 30 minutes away after.
How is everything down there? How are the coronavirus cases?
Yeah, so they're growing like everywhere else, right? They're not out of control or anything like that, but we just at 2:00 got our true order to kind of stay at home. We've been at a advised stay at home, but now they've made it an order to stay at home. So we're getting to that point now.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm in Jersey City.
Yeah.
I'm looking at New York right now. And I mean, obviously we're ground zero for the whole thing. So we probably will not be back to normal until I would say June.
Yeah, probably, right? Not full normal. I mean, I don't think we're going to be under like house and key lockdown till June, but we're not going to be back to normal till the summer at some point. But luckily, right, at least for me, having an internet-based business, like it didn't impact me that much, but it has impacted my environment around me, hence being at an Airbnb to be able to do.
I can't believe they were even renting them out. Like,
so my friend actually owns this place, and he had a lot of cancellations, obviously, because of what was going on, but then a lot of local people stepped up to rent it just for this reason, right? Maybe they need one night away from their spouse while they're, together so much or something. So it is smart. And he takes very good, I trust him, and he takes really good care of these places. And so I know they're clean and they're really cleaned down and taken care of. So it's a good alternative when you need to get away from your house for a little bit to find a local Airbnb, just kind of hang out there for a minute.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you mentioned that you have an online-based business. Tell us all about it.
So I have a business called Rita Made Me Do It. I'm a business coach, and I help women entrepreneurs build profitable businesses. And so the foundation for my business, the business model, was built to be an entirely kind of virtual based business. So I could work, quote unquote, work from anywhere and travel because I speak a lot. And so I wanted the ability to serve my clients and really build my business without it being location specific. And so everything I do, from sessions to running a community, while I do in-person things, the backbone of my business has always been online. And so nothing in my logistics of my business has changed very much at all, which I'm very fortunate for. But it just same every day right now.
Yeah, no, well, that's good. But there's so many people that they're almost, which is crazy to even believe, but they're new to having an online business. Yeah. They've never done a video conference before. So and they're so scared about it. I mean, now I think everybody's gotten over their fear. Everyone's
like, I have to do it.
Homes, they've seen everybody without makeup, that's all over, which is great, which is a positive that came out of this whole experience, right?
Yeah.
But what are the tips that you're giving some of your businesses that you're working with?
Yeah, so there are a lot of, so I am very active still in my in-person community in the Washington, D.C. area. And most of the women or the businesses that I meet build their business traditionally offline. So it's in-person networking events, it's coffee chats, it's referrals, it's just seeing each other over and over places, right? Social events and coffee houses and things. And so they're now like, well, what do I do? I can't, none of that is available to me anymore. And so I'm telling them, don't look at it differently. It's different logistics, but the core of a business is still the same, right? You have to solve a problem. You need to offer the solution to the problem, and you need to build relationships to be able to make that happen, like authentic, real relationships. And so the question right now for people is, whether you already have an online business or not, is, are you solving a current problem? People's current problems have changed slightly. So they might still have the same core problem, like nutritional problems or problems getting clients, but the reason why they're having those issues has changed slightly. And so you have to be able to solve the problem that's right in front of their face. And then you need to build relationships. And so that's where the tools come in that are different. So like in my community, I have a free Facebook community called the All In Entrepreneur. And right now, this whole week, we're having a virtual networking event where I'm teaching people things that you can do to actually build relationships online. So virtual coffee chats, like what we're doing right now. But if this wasn't being recorded, just me asking about your business and getting to know about you and seeing who I can connect you to. I mean, we can very much have coffee right here while we're online, right? Or how to interact with people in an online space that comes from a relationship building place. So commenting on people's, educational posts that they're sharing on all the social media sites in an authentic, substantive way, sharing other people's content to other people, connecting people, being part of communities, online communities like Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups or discussion forums. I mean, there's a variety of things that people can do. So if you really approach the relationship building piece first, that's the key to almost replicating everything that happens offline, right? And then there's some components around, okay, but your digital marketing kind of needs to adjust slightly. How you're able to communicate with the people that you're coming, into contact with and building relationships with has to change. But the core of building your business, that doesn't change from online to offline.
Absolutely. So if you were used to doing things in a traditional way and adhering to a traditional schedule, now that's all been blown to bits. So what are you suggesting to people? How can they apply that traditional way that they're so used to into, adhering to an at-home schedule?
Yeah. So when people contact me to hire me to help them build their business, they usually come from corporate America. Most people have left corporate America behind to build their own business. Not everybody, but most. And they do it because they're like, I can't wait to not have to have this rigid schedule. And I can't wait to have my own time to do my own thing. And then they call me going, Rita, I think I need a schedule. And I think I need structure because I'm not doing anything. Right. So while you have to create your schedule, you need a schedule. And that means look different based on your business and your goals, but there is truth to the more scheduled you are, the freer you feel. And so while it feels like your schedule is a little chaotic, it's still important that you have structure to it. And so even if it's not the same every single day, you need to know, here are the 5 things I'm doing every day. I'm doing business building, I'm doing client work, I might be doing a little bit of admin, I want some self time, I want some family friend time. And then you have to know, and I need about this much time for each of these things. And then they can be shiftable, right? Like if something pops up in your day and you're like, oh, my business building was going to be in the morning, but now my child needs me to homeschool them in the morning. Well, you don't delete the business building block, right? You just move the business building block to a different time or a different area. So knowing what you're doing in your business, really focusing in on the most important goals, and then knowing what the most important action is to take to move the needle forward, because that's really what it's about. It's not about quantity, right? It's about the quality of what you're doing. So if you do the action that'll move the needle forward the most, right, that could be done in 10 minutes and take the place of 50 actions that would maybe move the needle slightly. So it's really getting clear on what are my goals, what would move me to that goal in the quickest, fastest way, and then how can I structure that in a way that it's structured, but it's flexible with what's going on, because it's changing from day to day, and you can't, like, here I am at an Airbnb. You can't change the people around you. You can control your day, but you can't stop them from trying to do all kinds of things necessarily. So you need that flexibility, but you still really need to maintain a structure. I mean, it's important.
Now, do you work with your clients on creating content?
I do. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Okay. So how has that changed?
Again, I think that, so a lot of people just aren't even used to creating content. Like I said, they're just offline traditional networkers. They're not really having to create content. Now they're like, oh, I guess I need to explore this newsletter thing, or I need to post on social media. So the first thing there that I notice is that people who aren't used to online, they kind of come into the online space and treat it a little differently than they do offline. And so I was telling somebody the other day, I said, look, you wouldn't walk into a real room, a physical room of people, and go, I've got an iPhone and this iPhone is $50 and here's how you buy the iPhone and here's the link. And if you want the iPhone, go here, and then just like run out of the room and be like, okay, I'm done. And now I'm never interacting with those people again. But that's what people do in like the online space on Facebook groups. It's like they come in, they post a promotional post, they don't interact on it. They don't interact in any other way. They leave. I'm like, no, let's treat online the same exact way we would offline, and let's walk in and ask people about themselves. And so when you're posting, you have to post the way you would talk to people. You wouldn't always be promoting. You also wouldn't always just be asking about other people. And you also always wouldn't be doing so X, Y, and Z. So you really need to say, how do I talk in the real world, and how can I replicate that, and where do I do it online? But then to create the content really is about, what are my goals? What is it that I want to be known for? And again, it comes to, what problem am I solving right now? So like, there's a company called Modsy, and Modsy does like interior decorating virtually. And so they've always had an app, like their messaging has always been like, have a luxury space, like enjoy your space, like you deserve it, right? Kind of like discretionary spending, really up level your life, up level your space. But they pivoted their marketing message to be like, look, your dining room table right now is where you eat. It's also the classroom. It's like two co-working spaces and who knows what else, right? And you need to know how to use your space efficiently and your home efficiently for uses it was never intended for. And we can help you do that, right? So it's the same thing that they've always really done, making your space work for you. But the message behind why that's important right now has pivoted, and all of their content is meeting people where they're at with that message. So with content right now, it's, again, knowing what problem you're solving, that problem needs to be the urgent, immediate problem that people are having. And then you need to kind of mix content to be the way you would actually interact and build a relationship with a person offline, which is like, okay, like they need to get to know me. They need to know what my values are. They need to see that I know what I'm talking about, that I'm a credible expert. They need to see, I need to give them value, things that they can implement in their life right away. And I need to promote what I do and let people know how else they can interact with me. And so that's like a formula that I work with people to help do that in a way that doesn't take up all day and like is easy to do and get repurposed. But really, if you're just trying to go to where do I even start? It's, well, what problem are you solving for people, and how can you educate them about that right now and give them value that they can implement even if they don't buy your product or service right now.
You know, it's so interesting that the bigger companies and organizations, when you watch TV, every commercial is about this. It's about, you know, Papa John's, you know, we don't touch the pizza when it comes out of the oven. And, you know, everybody has redone their commercials to reflect this.
Yeah, because it's all people are thinking about, right? That's the problem people are thinking about.
Yeah. And I think that for the smaller business owner, you know, you can take a lot of direction from that and a lot of inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely, right? There's a reason why these big companies are doing that, but they do that all the time, just not to the scale where everybody's paying attention. But they're always pivoting with what's going on in the market, or what's going on in the community, or what's going on just in the culture as a whole. And it's on a smaller scale than it is right now, but it's important. People are thinking, oh, well, isn't that opportunistic? And it's like, no, like if you're a therapist and you know how to help couples and you offer teletherapy, like I said, right now, that is a huge problem, that people are staying together 24/7 in situations where they're not used to spending that much time together. So they're feeling the strain in their communication and their relationship. If you have a solution to that problem, you need to offer it. But the reason why people would want that is you're stuck together in your house 24/7. You're not even allowed to leave except for one small exercise a day. Like, you're ready. Like, how do you communicate and take space and still have a marriage you love? Like, the why has slightly shifted. And so you really have to pay attention to your audience and know what's going on for them, for any content to be relevant to them at this point at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So with all of this free time, how are you utilizing it?
People keep saying that. I'm like, where is the free time, right? Like, everybody's like, hey, now that it's all slower. And I think that the only people that's true for are people who were in corporate America, came home to either were told you can't work. You're not allowed to, like, your job can't be done through telework. So you're just off, right? Like, you're just not working. Okay. Or, the people who are like, oh, telework, cool. They're not actually really doing their work, because as far as I see from all my friends in corporate America who are home, or people like me, like, it's like, it has not slowed down business. I think that in their head, people are like, oh, people aren't spending money right now, and people aren't going to want to invest, and they're not going to want, but my business is busier than it's ever been. And so are my clients. It's that the money has shifted. Where people are spending has shifted. They're not buying coffees, they're not going out to eat, they're not buying clothes. So certain industries are taking a hit, but yet other industries, right, are really, people are paying for soft skills or career development or business development or investing in themselves in other ways for their business. So I haven't seen the slowdown, right? What I'm really doing is making sure that I'm still living, I hate the word balance, but I've created a business that fits the life I want to live. And the logistics of my life have changed slightly. But again, the core of my life hasn't. Time with family, time with friends, time for myself, serving my clients, right? Interacting with my community. So again, my schedule has pretty much stayed the same, and I'm still using my time for those. I think I'm doing maybe a different kind of self-care than I would have before. There's a lot more around like the mental self-care than the physical self-care so much right now. So some of the differences are the activities, but not the structure to it. So I'm telling my clients the same thing, like, don't get so hung up in, I've got to build my business, I've got to get clients, this is gonna, I need to make sure that I'm not impacted by this, or wow, business is booming, so I need to take it all. You still need to say, what's the life that I want to live? What's the day I want to have? What's important to me? And make sure you're scheduling around it. But like free time, like other than the free time I have already on my schedule, I'm not experiencing like an extra bonus of free,
No,
which is
I'm
fine.
with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you. I feel like everyone's like, you're not filming right now. You're not. I'm like, yeah, but I could be creative in different ways, and that's what
Yes.
I'm doing.
There's so much you can do. And also, I mean, now people are homeschooling their kids, and like now they're having to like be like a different kind of commander of their home. And so even if you're not doing work, like there's all this other stuff swimming around. So I wish that I could like just go organize my garage or something, and maybe I will, right? But it's like, no, but I think that that's it, right? A lot of people, I was talking about this to somebody the other day about how if you've had the mindset of, well, this is how it's done, like this is how I've done it, so this is the way that it gets done, then you're going to feel like, oh, well, that can't be done in that way anymore. So right now I have a lot of free time. But if you say, well, the way that I've done it, it can't be done like that. So how else can I do it? What's the main mission? What's the main goal? And what are all of these other ways that I can do it? Suddenly you're going to be like, wow, there's so much that I could be filling my time with. So it's really important that you cultivate that way of thinking to be more like robust and not so linear, right? Not so straightforward, because that's where I think people are getting stuck, when they're just so used to, this is the way it's always been done, this is the way I've gotten it done, and now there's a roadblock to that. So, oh, well, I guess I have to wait till the roadblock is lifted, instead of thinking, well, what's a different path that I can take to still get to the same place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where can people, and this is all great information, and do you deal with clients just locally or even on a national?
No, like international. I have clients from all over, as long as the time zones aren't too crazy. There are one or two where it just, no matter what happens, it can't line up. But no, I have clients all over. And so, the one place that they're all kind of housed together, clients or non-clients, is in my Facebook community called The All-In Entrepreneur. So if you just search Facebook for The All-In Entrepreneur, and it's a group, and it's a free group to join, you just request to join. That's where I'm interacting every day. That's where we're having like the free networking event. We have challenges, we have all kinds of, education and master classes and free stuff that goes on there for business owners, and a lot of interaction right now from people who are helping each other and lifting each other and brainstorming and pivoting and adapting all together in that community. So that's really the best place to find me. But my website, ritamamiedoit.com, is also,
I love that name, by the way. Where did you come up with that?
So I actually didn't. So the name of my business used to be called Women's Business Garden. So I was a lawyer, right? And I did the law thing. Yeah, I was a business attorney for 13 years, and then left it to become a dating coach, because there was a so
I should have. Well, I mean, I should.
It's crazy though. But like, so it's funny how life takes you, right? When you do have the outside the box thinking. But I had run a singles group in the DC area as a meetup group, as a hobby, while I was an attorney, and that blew up. I ran it with a guy who we dated for 5 years, and then there was this really sad breakup, and everybody was so sad about it. But I was about to turn 35, and to get over the breakup and to celebrate my 35th birthday, I went on 35 dates in 35 days, and I blogged all about it. The blog became very popular, and then people started asking me to date coach them, and I was like, that's weird because I'm a lawyer. And so I don't know, but I started doing it kind of part-time for fun just to see if I liked it. And I did. I ended up leaving the law to become a dating coach. And then from there, I built my business very quick. Like within 3 months, I had surpassed my attorney salary. Now it sounds very quick, but it was because I had run a singles group for 5 years, right? So I'd already been running a community that knew, liked, trusted me, was along for the journey. So it sounds quick. It was really 5 years plus three months, but technically 3 months have surpassed my attorney salary. And so people started saying, how did you do it? Like, how did you build your business so quickly? And so I started mentoring women on, growing their business. And that's when I transitioned full-time into business coaching. But having come from the lawyer world, I still had a very professional mindset. So my company was called Women's Business Garden, like cultivating community and like growing your business and keeping things blooming, all this stuff. And I would talk about it in very third part, like at Women's Business Garden, we blah, blah, blah. Well, one day I challenged my community because I love to make them take uncomfortable action. I challenged them to do something, and it involved a Facebook Live. And this girl gets on and she's like, I've never done a Facebook Live before, but Rita made me do it. And so here I am. And then everybody started saying, yes, hashtag Rita made me do it. Like Rita made me do it. And I was like, oh, my friend was like, do you see this? I was like, I've already changed my business name. It's already called Rita made me do it, like done. And the minute that I changed the name to Rita made me do it, everybody was like, yes, that feels like you. That is your energy. That is you. That's exactly what we say about you. Rita made me do it. And my business like tripled from where it had been because I stepped into something that was really authentic and not what I thought it needed to sound like, right? So I didn't name my business. A client actually named it, and I just followed suit of what I saw everybody doing. And I said, well, that's the name of my business. And so now what's really funny about it is like, I just went and picked up lunch from a place right next door who's doing carry out because I'm supporting as many businesses as I can right now. And so they took my credit card and they're like, I have to ask, like, what do you make people do? Like, it's the best conversation starter anywhere. It's like, I need to know what you make people do everywhere I go. And so it was the best decision I made. But yeah, I wish I could take credit for that. But no, my clients and my community actually named my business for me.
I love that. Give your website one more time because I think I interrupted you.
Oh, sure. It's ritamademedoit.com. And then again, really, you can go into Facebook and go to the All In Entrepreneur Facebook group, or I'm just at Rita Goodroe on every social media site there is. So ritamademedoit.com or my Facebook group, or just at Rita Goodroe.
Great. This was so much fun. Thank you so much. Please stay healthy and safe.
Thank you.
And when if you're ever in the New York area, let me know.
Yeah. Well, once I can get back out and travel, I plan on going, I'm going to go everywhere, right? Yeah, right? Absolutely.
I cannot wait for that day.
Yes.
All right, Rita, take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.